What's going on, YouTube? We are just getting started with another Amazon FBA Q&A. As always, we got the boys and the gals on TikTok. So how can I make sure it doesn't get rejected? I resubmitted. All you can do is wait. And like I said, just follow those steps that I mentioned earlier if it does for some reason get denied again. How do you track your keywords on Helium 10 and how often do you change them if they are not working? Well, if they're not working, it's not about, oh, this keyword's not working, let me swap it out with another one. That is an option. But if like your main keyword isn't working in your PPC campaigns, you need to optimize your conversion, you guys. It's really as simple as that. PPC is not the resolution to fixing a PPC problem. Does that make sense? So if your issue is not converting on PPC, the solution is not how do I go and spend more money on PPC. It's dialing in what needs to be done for the listing. They really do. LOL. Moms wouldn't be walking around with kids if people think it's unsafe. Yeah, I made a video about this, Cheeto, or sorry, see, I'm so used to calling you that, Chi-Town. That we're almost like programmed in the US to believe certain things. And it's kind of like to keep us in our hometown and not actually go see what's good with the world, right? They tell you New York is unsafe. They tell you that Chicago's unsafe. They tell you that this country's unsafe. They tell you Mexico's not safe. There's probably parts of all three of those places that are, you know, maybe you want to mind your P's and Q's, or maybe only go with a guide or whatever, maybe not go at all. But generally, when you look at the places in general, they're dope places to be in. What do you think is the most likely response from Amazon? I couldn't answer that, bro. Because I could give you an answer and it would literally just be me guessing. Don't be anxious, brother. This happens all the time. So keep a level head. Even if it gets denied again, don't be worried. You went through the steps. A lot of times it's a lot of back and forth with Amazon, my friend. So just keep that in mind. Hold on. Okay. Alex, thank you for sharing the live, my guy. Appreciate you. What's up, private men, private label people? What's good, what's good? Let's go. Posted some gem videos on the TikTok as always, by the way, y'all. We got Amazon sales right here. Last video that I posted is how I used to lose money, but now I make it. And then I posted some travel videos. I gotta post in the rest of the travel videos. Any goals for Amazon this year? Yes, launch a few new products for the new account. God willing, sell one of the brands. Not so much Amazon, but it's Amazon related because it has to do with the mentorship. I'm getting ready to launch, in my opinion, the greatest feature to my Amazon mentorship program that I've ever launched. I was just talking to my students about that, so. No, like I said, bro, I think you're kind of like getting a little bit of ahead of yourself, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. You just have to wait and then follow the steps that I said if it gets denied again. I know that you're new to the game, but the reason, like, I'm so calm about this, and it almost sounds like I'm giving you nonchalant answers with it. But it really is because I've seen it all when it comes to selling on Amazon and seller support and things like that. So I totally understand. When I first started selling on Amazon, I felt like the sky was falling. Every little issue like was going to be the end of the account, the end of the business, the end of my brand. I'm not even saying that you're saying that. That's just how I thought when I first started. But as you become more of a seasoned seller, you realize that just Amazon is Amazon, bro. You're gonna run into issues like these. Let's say you sell for the next 5 years, you're gonna run into issues like these another 50 times. And you just realize that, you have to wait, be patient, and yeah. The future Andrew Tate here. LOL without the charges. Nah, man. Luke Basha in the flesh. I don't want to be like anybody else. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm just me, man. I think he's cool. I think that he gives good. I think he gives. I think generally, not everything, but I think generally he gives some good advice to, especially youngsters. And that's, kind of how I was just saying in the beginning of the live. A lot of the stuff is mindset, you guys. If you dial in your mindset, you'll be unstoppable. If you can't dial in your mindset, it's going to be a rough go. So you're saying it's not a big issue and something easily fixable. And yeah, you guessed it, what I'm thinking. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I say that so that, like, hopefully you can relate to me on my journey and then see where I am today, and realize that, oh man, it's all going to be all right. We're going to be good. We're going to make it at the end of this. Every single issue that I've ever encountered, except for one, in my 6 years of selling on Amazon, my 100+ issues that I've ever had with Amazon, I've only had one not get resolved. That was actually last year. So any guides on Amazon DSP? Amazon DSP ads, Samir? Like I literally think the sky is falling every time. Bro, it's so normal. I was the same way. Every small little problem, it was just, yeah, the sky was falling. I was Chicken Little up in here. But that's normal because you just started your business and you want everything to go right, which again is very normal. Everybody does. Nobody wants anything to go wrong. But as you start to scale your business, you're going to realize that it almost becomes exhausting having that mindset. Maybe the first few times, sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And then you realize, oh man, if I panic every time, like, that's not even going to be good for my health. So many things will go wrong. But also so many things will go right, God willing. Yes, DSP ads. So yes, I do. Number one, Samir, if you're not profitable on your Amazon sponsored product ads, don't even touch DSP ads. DSP only accounts for like 10% of ad sales on Amazon. 10% is not going to move the ball for you. Sponsored product ads are going to account for 70%. But once you do start running DSP ads and you're at that point, I would say retargeting campaigns are going to be key, like views retargeting. Video ads with DSP are pretty good as well. I really do like video ads, but not in the beginning. I almost don't like talking about DSP and sponsored brand ads because people will think like, oh, he runs them, so I should run them too. No, because you're not an Amazon 7-figure seller yet. Or 6-figure, I should say. You don't need to get to 7 figures before you run DSP ads. I'm broke now. How much do I need to start this? At least $3K USD loan. And if you're broke, start selling things around your house. Get some starting capital. Go to garage sales. Start selling things there. I know that sounds maybe like some simple or silly advice, but if I was at zero, like literally at zero, I would do the same thing. I took a little break from the series. I've been recording the series, but we paused the timeline because I went on vacation. But I'm going to be doing a series that I'll release probably a little later this year, where I'm going to show everybody how I would go from broke to $3,000, which is enough to start selling on Amazon in 30 days, literally starting with $0. $0. And it's the advice that I just gave you right now. Yeah, I just got rejected. I got rejected 3 times before. 2 times due to rookie mistake, and third time, which was recent, I feel was Amazon's fault. Amazon is the worst sometimes. They're the best, but they're the worst. Like I love Amazon. It's like a love-hate. Every seller has a love-hate relationship with Amazon. But because you're new, bro, I would want to instill this piece of advice into you sooner rather than you not figure it out later. Don't seek to blame somebody or blame something. It might be Amazon's fault. Like I went like that, how I was just telling you, I've had every issue resolved except for one that was last year. And yeah, I could have said it's Amazon's fault. How can Amazon do this? They should have had better systems in place for this. If this was a common thing that happens to sellers, they should be able to figure it out. They're Amazon. Why wouldn't they be able to reverse this? There's a million things that I could say. But you got to take accountability for everything, even when it's not your fault. I almost subscribe to this very extreme viewpoint of if you're driving down the road and you get rear-ended, it's not that driver's fault, it's your fault, right? You chose to leave. And this is more so like for the mindset, not literal, because the insurance won't say that it's your fault. You chose to leave at the time that you did. You chose to go the speed that you were going. You chose to be in the lane that you were driving in, right? But most people won't look at that. How could they do that? Why would they do that? Blah, 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 blah. And we live in a world of people who don't want, and I'm not saying you, bro. Again, I know that you're just starting off. I would assume you're a youngster under 30. I'm a youngster too, so I'm not saying it in a negative way. But we live in a world of people who don't want to take accountability for what's happening in their life, their business. They want to blame this political party. They want to blame this government. They want to blame this teacher. They want to blame their parent. They want to blame where they came from. All these different things, man. But when you realize that there's people who out hustle those circumstances, you got to take accountability. Asim, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you, my friend. What's up, bro? What up, Net? Yeah, I know. I'm just resolving it because it's not like they need me anyways. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm 18. Nice, bro. God bless you, brother. You're starting a year before I did. So it it's so funny when I hear somebody who was like around the age or when I first started, because we're all not that different. You know what I'm saying? We're all unique in our own way, but there's a lot of similarities that are kind of cool to see transpire. When I see somebody who's that age, and I just told you how I dealt with some of these situations when I was that age. Um, and I also think that's a positive thing, because if I figured it out, you guys have all, I won't bore you with the same story, but I'm sure most of y'all have heard where I was when I first started selling on Amazon. If I was able to figure it out, so will all of you. Hey man, I just changed my main image and only my main image is showing now. Do you know how to fix it? Just re-upload your other images, Nick. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, to be honest with you, but just re-upload your other images and you should be good. Do you know any good shipping agents can pay? Chris, I created my own shipping service, brother, but that's only available for my mentorship students. Another one would be like Forwarder One. What do I do? What do I do? Well, as my shipment is coming into FBA Fulfillment Center, is there anything I can do? Do you have a fully optimized listing, user 303? I know it's hard now, but honestly, I'll be in your position in my early to mid 20s. God willing, bro. God willing, you surpass me. I would love to see that. I'm going to go crazy. Why, Relentless? That's the only comment that I saw from you, my friend. Not sure if you left another comment before that, but TikTok may have muted it. Feel free to type it in a different way. Level heads, everybody. Level heads. things come up in business, things happen. We all just got to keep level heads. I just had probably the weirdest, I just had one of the weirdest months. May was probably the weirdest month that I had in the last 2 years of my business. And just pay for your shipping provider. Not Chris. That's out of respect for my students who pay for all of the things that I built. I don't make money on my shipping service. So it's not about the money. I created the shipping service as an ecosystem for my mentorship students, bro. Like I literally make $0 from it. Yes, have a fully optimized listing. Now it's part of the waiting game, user 303. Start lining up people who are going to leave you reviews. Nowadays, when you have a problem on Amazon, how easily do you believe you can fix it quickly? Quickly? I don't always believe that I'll fix it quickly. I'm going through an issue right now where we have products sitting at Amazon or sitting at our warehouse, not our warehouse, at our manufacturer's warehouse, ready to ship. But we can't do anything because same thing, compliance issue. We had to submit. I'm actually going through the exact same thing that you're going through right now for a new product, bro. Quickly, I don't know about quickly, but how confident do I believe that I'll be able to fix it? God willing, 100%. I guess nothing. Yeah, 100% in my head at least. Understandable. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, the shipping service on average saves students 30 to 50% on shipping. The shipping service has also helped people navigate the tariffs as well. Can you give me some advice on my Amazon journey? I can, bro. Got lots of advice for you, especially the position that you're in. Stick to the script, son. What do I mean by stick to the script? I mean, there's going to be a lot of outside noise, right? Of like almost like these strategies that are going to get you from 0 to 100K this fast or blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to any of it. A lot of it's nonsense. I would say 10% rule. I truly live by the 10% rule. I was just talking to my little cousin. He's a senior in high school, and we were at his brother's college graduation, and he's pretty much your age, 17, but right around your age. And him and I were talking about it. There's going to be a lot of outside noise, number one. Number two, I truly believe in this concept of the 90-10 rule. Okay. What is that? 90% of people, and if we're going to say people, let's also say information. 90% of information. Hold on. I have to elaborate on that because some people will think that I'm like, I'll elaborate that on that after I finish. But 90% of people, 90% of the internet information is all busters. You don't want to be like the busters. 10% of people are actually hustlers. 10% of that 10%, which is 1% of the 100%, are going to be the absolute machines of the world. The Jeff Bezoses, the Elon Musks, the Bill Gates, right? Like them or hate them or love them, doesn't matter. They have gone on to create things that 99.9% of people will never go on to achieve. 10% of people are actually true hustlers. The biggest thing that I would say, strive to be in the 10%. Always strive to be in the 10%. You might not be there now, but it's about where you're going, my friend. And another thing is you got to be resilient. You have to be resilient. There's too many people who, like, when things are all going good, they're like, yeah, I would never quit. I would never give up. I would never, not do X, Y, Z. And then first sign of problems. And it's okay with that mindset because I was the same way. It's okay if you feel like the sky's falling sometimes. That you'll grow out of. But if you sit and like something goes wrong and now you're blaming the world and you're like, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, blah, 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 you're never going to get anywhere in life. I had this, I always say that I was glitched in the head. like legit, like a glitch in my head where I never thought about failing. I never thought, separate from me thinking the sky was falling, I never thought about what was going to go wrong. That's why it's like, it almost like, sometimes I'll get really passionate on live. Sometimes my girl's like, you go really hard against some people on live, because she's obviously here sometimes when I'm on live. I'm like, yeah, just because I can't stand people's mindsets. I was just on a call with one of my buddies. He does social media. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen his page, like 300,000 followers on TikTok. And even he was telling, like, him and I had a quick chat about how, like, most people in the world are not smart, right? Most people in the world don't have what it takes to, make something substantial, hence the 10% rule. If it was more than 10%, it would be a different world that we live in, but it's not. So many people are like, no, this guy on the internet, surely he can't be making money, because why would he teach people? Surely Amazon FBA doesn't work, because I heard from one person on the internet that it couldn't work. FBA fees cost too much money. You can't make that much, or you can't make money on Amazon anymore. Bro, the world is so pessimistic in their thinking. It drives me crazy, because I still don't think like that. I still don't think like that. And I didn't think like that when I first started, 19-year-old Luke. And so when I see like grown adults, 30, 40, 50 years old, sitting there like, whoa, I don't know, just like everything that they think that everything can go, anything that will go wrong will go, or anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I know that's like some philosopher's philosophy. I don't subscribe by that. Anything that can go right will go right, God willing. You can't stop God's plan, bro. You cannot stop God's plan. What do you think? I think positively, man. I'm almost like delusionally positive. I made a video on my TikTok about being delusional. If everybody was delusional in a positive way, the world would be a different place. You guys would be in a different position that you are in life. I guess not you specifically, but like a lot of people in the world would be in a different position in life. I'm not judging any of y'all. But most people don't think like that. When I go start a business, like I'm getting ready to start a new business, and it's with a business partner. And I'm sitting here telling them, bro, we're going to do this much in revenue our first month. We're going to do, like, it's going to be sky's the limit. And I even told them, I was like, listen, bro, I get way too excited about things. So maybe maybe I think we're going to be here and we end up here. That's okay. But I'm delusional in my thinking. I'm not going to sit. Why would I start a company? Why would I start a company and just think this can go wrong and this can go wrong and this can go wrong? Does Tom Brady go into the Super Bowl? I know he's retired, but did Tom Brady go into the Super Bowl thinking, man, we're going to lose. We're going to lose this game. We're really going to lose. No, it's why he had I don't even watch football, but I did watch this game because I bet on it and I lost money to it because I never liked the Patriots back in the day. But it's the reason why he has one of the greatest comebacks in Super Bowl history, in football history, because he just believed in his heart that he was going to win. He believed, and not only that, it's not about like foo-foo la-la manifestation. None of that's all nonsense too. You put in the work, you have a positive outlook on things, and what can go wrong? Why does everybody sit and think what can go wrong? What can go wrong? What can go wrong? What's going to go wrong? I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose money. PPC ads, Amazon FBA fees. Do you know how many people, bro, I have 30 something thousand followers. I bet you 5% of them will ever sell on Amazon who haven't already sold on Amazon. 5%. A lot of you who are following me, you're like, I like this. This guy's giving me, I feel good in the moment right now. I want to learn how to sell on Amazon. 5% of you will go on to sell on Amazon. Right? You'll be part of the 5%, maybe 10%. The rest of them are just, they're continuing because they heard it was too hard. They are too scared to fail. They're scared of what people are going to think of them. They're scared about this. They're scared about that. Oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. I like almost want to like yell. So yeah, what good does it do you in life to think about everything that can go wrong? I don't get on a plane and sit there and I say my little prayer, God, please protect me. But I don't sit there and get on a plane and be like, it's going to crash. I'm going to be part of the statistic of planes that crashed, this and that and this and that. No, such a pessimistic way to look at life. You're not going to get anywhere in life like that. I want to learn more about this. Feel free to ask any questions, brother, or check out my content. I make a lot of free videos on it. Ask any question that you have about it. I agree. I have a 27-year-old cousin who tried to do Forex once, and now he thinks every business is a scam now. Forex, don't even get me started. Me and one of my mentorship students used to text each other Forex videos that we would see of like that. That one was a little rough. The Forex era was rough, but yeah, I mean, I know people in my life who are older than me, 40, 50, 60 years old. And when I hear the way that they talk, I just like, man, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm the same. I'm truly not better than anybody on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Except for maybe criminals. But so it's not like a comparison thing like that. You know what I mean? But like God gave us all an equal opportunity to go out and get it. Doesn't matter your circumstance. But I know people who, when they were my age, they failed in business. Maybe they were making a lot of money. Actually, two people that come to mind, they were making a lot of money back in the day. And now they're both 50 and 60 years old. They had some rough goes in business. And now they live in fear. Like at 50 and 60 years old, you got what, 20 to 40 years left? What do you got? What are you scared of? What are you scared of? Put it all out on the table. Give it your all. And then for those of you who are young, right? You could be 18 years old. You could start something until you're 25, completely fail, go to rock bottom. And guess what? You're still only 25 years old. Asian Jim, thank you so much for the follow. Michael, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate both of you. Appreciate everybody listening to my rant. I know we're talking a lot of mindset stuff right now, but when I tell you it's one of the most important things, there's people who I know who have the keys to the castle. They know everything that they need to know about Amazon. But sometimes, you guys don't need to learn anything else. Okay, what do you need to do to sell on Amazon? Create an Amazon seller account. Get a product research software, find a product to sell. I'm sure not even in my videos and 30 other videos, most of y'all already know exactly what to do, how to sell on Amazon. But are you taking action on it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if it's Amazon. Maybe your dream is to open up a restaurant. Maybe your dream is to own real estate, whatever it is. You guys in most cases, don't need any more information. I'm starting a business. I'm getting ready to start a business, and I will announce it when it does come out. That I barely know. I know about the concepts of everything, but I don't know the business in and out. There's no more information that I need. I knew that I wanted to start the business, and we're going for it. How do you improve and practice on sourcing? Just contacting more manufacturers, negotiating with them. I'm good with product hunting, but not with product sourcing and product listing. Yeah, just keep contacting manufacturers, keep negotiating. I have a video on my YT YouTube channel where I go over sourcing as well. Now he's waiting for a meme coin to drop to get rich quick. Yeah, man. There's no such thing as get rich quick. Most of y'all will not. That's another thing. Social media has kind of blurred the lines a little bit. You believe that if you don't have, and this isn't God bless the people who have this. This is another thing. People look at it as envious, or they think that someone had to scam to get their way there. But social media blurred the lines of thinking if I'm not a millionaire with 4 houses and 5 Lamborghinis by the time I'm 25, I'm a failure. No, man. Most people don't even become a millionaire statistically until the age 50 something. Meanwhile, all of you are how do I make $1 million in 3 weeks? You're just not going to. You're 99.99999% chance. You're just not going to. That's another reason why it drives me crazy when I get comments in the live of if I put in 10K into business, how long till I'm netting 100K a month? What are you guys even saying? Like, it's good to have financial goals. I still write it down. I showed this actually. Hold on. Just to show you guys. Like, I'd write my goals down every day. One of the goals that I'd write down every day is my net worth is $100 million. It's cool to have financial goals, but I didn't sit there and say, I'm only going to start a business if I can hit $100 million in 10 years. No, I just stuck to the fundamentals, man. I want to read you guys. Hold on. I promise I'm going to get to everyone's question. I know I'm a little lagging on them. I want to read you guys this conversation. I was texting my cousin who was my mentor. We were talking about someone else, not talking down on them. It's someone that him and I both love and want to see win and succeed. But I just got to read you guys this. This is from my cousin who mentored me, right? Taught me how to sell on Amazon, put me up on game. And this is me, my text. I said, he was like, no, let me read his text first. He said, he has no hustle. You should watch him work. It's rough. And again, we're not talking smack. We're not in the business of talking smack on people. This is somebody who we both love genuinely, right? And we want to see him win. And we're sitting there talking like, how do we get him in the mindset of like just switching that mindset? And then I text him back. I said, this was literally last night, you guys, at 8:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I guess the time didn't matter. I said, I had no hustle before. Even you started worrying during my rave days. Ready for this? These are all his texts. I'm going to read it. He said, during those days before you got good at working on your stuff, I wanted to be your big bro. I wouldn't let that bother me. I only wanted you to get better and improve yourself. You did. I was just optimistic about you. Didn't look at the bad, only the good. Shit was different with you. You flipped the switch. I remember noticing that in you when you took a pro stance on life. If you only look for the good in someone, whatever isn't great is barely noticeable. You feel me? We grew together in that mofo. Good times. He said, you chose to succeed from where you were at in your life. Even if you felt no hustle vibe at that moment, you grew into it by starting to walk the walk. Investing into your future, not feeling entitled to an immediate payoff. You worked for it. That's the script, you guys. That's the method. Everyone talks about the method. The method is just getting on the path. Everybody wants to talk the talk. Nobody wants to walk the walk. He said, yeah, I agree. Hey, man, I just started product research. Was using helium-10. Quite limited product. Is there other way? Quite limited product. It's not limited at all. I have a list of 5. Hold on. I'll get you guys the exact number right now. Literally not limited at all. Like anything, literally every single piece of information that you need to know about Amazon. I have a list. Not every single one of these products is good. I have a list of, hold on, I'm still scrolling. Still scrolling. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it was this much. I have a list of 3,518 products that I have looked at from Helium-10. And roughly 20% of those, so what's 3,518 times 0.2 equals 700 of those products are products that meet my criteria, all found by Helium-10. I wouldn't say it's limited at all. Yeah, I agree. My dad even told me that I was too young to fail. You got a good pops, bro. You got a good pops. That's good advice for sure. You are too young to fail, bro. At 18, you could start a business today, fail at 19, start another business at 19, fail at 20, start another business at 20, fail at 21, start another business at 21, fail at 22, and still you got your whole life ahead of you. You fail, you get up. You fail, you get up. Too many people fail and they retreat, fail and they retreat. That's why they won't ever be in a position that they want to be in life. That's not me judging. That's just the reality of life. Was planning to enroll in your course. Unfortunately, things didn't work out as I was sacked. I'm sorry to hear that, Hento, but God willing, you're going to get back on your feet, brother. And I'm not saying that so that you can join my course. I'm saying that because God has a 100% success rate in getting you through tough times, my friend. And he's not going to stop now. How many products is this from? Congratulations, man. Thank you. This is 9 products, including variations, but all the variations are pretty much the same as the main product. Nabudu, I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Luke Evening, what up, affiliated? Always good to see you, my guy. Mike Vegas, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Are you in Discord? I mean, I'm in Discords, but I don't have a Discord. No. Affiliated, thank you for sharing the live. Can I have your course for free? You can have my course for free when you convince the company Apple to give you every single one of their products that they ever launch for free. You could go watch my videos for free. You could watch the free course that I have on TikTok for free. But yeah, this isn't a handout thing. In fact, I'll give you guys a statistic too. I've maybe given, and this is like family members and stuff like that. I've maybe given 20 people. This is, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So remember how I've been talking about the 10% rule? So I've given like 20 people the program for free, right? 2. Let me repeat that. 2 of them have actually taken action and launched products, both of which have launched successful products, by the way. The other 18, 0% completion, because I track everything, like the site that the mentorship is on lets me see when you've logged in, what sections you've watched, what percentage of the program you've watched. The other 18 are at 0%. Nobody values anything that's free. I have a whole TikTok page and YouTube page going over literally every single step about selling on Amazon. But you were probably not in the live earlier. There's probably 10%, if that, of my 30-something thousand followers, my millions of views that I've gotten, maybe 10% of people who have actually taken action or use the content. Everybody gets excited in the moment. They watch my lives. They see the numbers right here of 1 out of 4 successful Amazon businesses. They're like, man, I can do this. And then that motivation goes away and they do nothing. They don't take the action. And and for some people, maybe they were interested in Amazon and then they shifted their focus and hopefully they're doing something else. I truly hope. Doesn't make any difference to me whether you guys do Amazon or drop shipping or real estate. I don't care. But just do something. I heard you say, if I could do it, anyone can do it. What do you mean by that? I posted a video the other day of me in my little rave outfit and kind of how you just heard me talk about that, read that text with my cousin saying I had no hustle before. Even you started to worry about me during the rave days. Bro, I wasn't like statistically, like if who I was didn't change and you just look at statistics of people who were like me, I was not supposed to be in the position that I am in. But I broke the statistics. Statistics mean nothing. In terms of statistics mean something in terms of business numbers, but in terms of like this person isn't supposed to be successful and this person isn't supposed to be successful, that's bollocks. I had issues with addiction. I was a party kid. And when I say party kid, I'm talking party kid. Like, I'm sure everybody here has liked to party at some point, in one form or another. But like, I was a party kid. I'm talking, especially like summertime, we would party 7 days a week till like 3-4 a.m. in the morning. I remember even right around a year before I started my business, I'd go to house parties with my boys, and we'd be up from, the party would start at 9 p.m. I'm watching the sun come up. It's, 6 a.m. We're up till 7 a.m. It's 8 a.m. I still haven't slept. Like, I was on that kind of lifestyle. I'll give you guys a little day to day outside of the party scene of how I was. But when I was working for my cousins, this was still when I was working for my cousins, but before I started selling on Amazon and getting my life right, I would wake up at like 11 a.m., right? Or maybe like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. My work started, we had weird hours. 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. was my cousin's work schedule, because they were night owls, so they wouldn't wake up early. So I'd wake up 10, 11 a.m. I would be on that ZA, if you know what that is. I'd go play some Call of Duty, have some more ZA, get driven to work because I didn't have a car or a license, because I was just a buster. Let's put it this way. The first time I ever took, I guess I shouldn't. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I'm not going to put myself on blast like that, because I realize that is not legal. But yeah, like, I almost want to tell you guys, but I'm not going to put that out on the record. Anyways, but yeah, get driven to work, be at work, go through the motions, have some more ZA, go back home, eat some food, have some more ZA, play some more video games. That was who I was before I started selling on Amazon. If I can do it, anybody can. You're telling me if that kid can turn his life around, that anyone can? Thanks, Luke. I'm not going to give up. Yes, sir, Hento, you only fail if you give up, brother, and I know you won't give up. So you have not failed, my friend. This is going to be a learning experience, and I'll say this as well. Every time where I thought things were like the worst thing that ever happened to me, like, it's almost like this weird thing. When I had left home because of some family drama, that family member, I didn't talk to the family member who was the reason why I left home, which was not a parent. I didn't talk to them for like 3 years. I had hate in my heart. Now we're cool. It's all love. I was like, I hate these people. How could they do this? How could this have happened to me? Woe is me. Like, it was the worst thing. At that point, it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me, right? And it was so big, like, I'll put it this way. The police were involved. Arrests were made. Like, it was like that kind of vibe. It wasn't some like, oh, I got in an argument with somebody. And I remember just being so angry at life. And it seemed like the worst thing that had happened to me at that point. But had it not been for that, I wouldn't have moved to OC to sleep on my best friend's couch. If I didn't sleep on my best friend's couch, I would have never started working for my cousins, because their office was in OC back in the day. If I never went to go work for my cousins, I would have never started my Amazon business. If I had never started my Amazon business, I wouldn't have the blessed life that God's given me. So, like, in the moment, it's hard. And I can't even give you the advice of being like, hey, don't feel the way that you feel about it, because we're human. You're going to. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is still the worst thing that's ever happened to you. But all those things ended up becoming positive things. At what point should we launch our 2 to 5th product on Amazon, in your opinion? Once you get the first product to a sustainable point where, like, your profits and money that you make there can be reinvested into other products. You're a great motivator. Thank you, brother. Remember this though. I'm not trying to discredit the comment that you said, Tariq. I do appreciate it. It's always good to see you in the live, bro. Motivation is fake. Motivation is not going to get you to the point that you want in life. You'll be motivated on this live. This live will end, and I'm not going to be there with you during your hard times. I'm not going to be there with you when things hit the fan. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to hold your hand through whatever you have going on in life. And that's why you just push through. Motivation's cool in the moment, but it's not going to be the thing that gets you through everything. It's a fleeting feeling. 2025 about to be the year of tariff circus. I'm saying, bro. So for those of you who don't know, yesterday a federal court came in and said that Trump's tariffs were illegal. They blocked them, and that meant 0% tariffs for about 24 hours. And then an appeal court came in and said, no, we're going to unblock them. They're legal, so they're back on. I was about to make a video about it. I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because they're back less than 24 hours later. Honestly, after getting compliance rejections, your words definitely helped me out tonight. Awesome, brother. I'm happy. Booch the Don, can you open my IG DM or my DM on IG? I saw your message, brother. I have a bunch of free content available for everybody on how to sell on Amazon. If you wanted to have me as your mentor, help you guide you along the journey, that is for the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship program. And Airstick and Jeff, who are both in the live right now, are mentorship students. Don't you love it? See, this is kind of like the mindset thing that I was talking about, man. How the world looks at everything pessimistic. We have this homie in here who asked me for the course for free, right? And he was serious about it. And then I said no. And then he comes back and said, my friend, if you're making millions or so much money, why are you online selling your course? Well, brother, I don't know if you realized, but this live has been going on for about 50 minutes, and maybe less than 60 seconds of the live have I mentioned the mentorship program. I don't gatekeep any information. I don't tell people if you want to know the answer to that, you have to join my course. I have a full course, 30 minutes on TikTok. I even told you about it when you asked for my course for free, but then got upset when I said no. Full 30-minute course for free on TikTok, helping people with their information. I'm going to give you another news flash right now. How do you think I learned how to sell on Amazon? Do you think I woke up one day and God just poured in all the Amazon knowledge that I have? Or do you think that I learned from people online? People who were providing value, people who had good analytical advice. You feel me? So it's like people almost like miss that point. They're like, this guy wouldn't teach people if he was doing all this. Well, then why did all the people that I learned from who were making all that money teach me how to sell on Amazon and get me to this point? Also, I posted a video answering that exact question. You guys could go watch it. It's yesterday's video. I'm not going to show the video. You guys can watch it for yourself, but listen to the intro of this video. Ready? It's so funny. People are predictable, my friend. But yeah, you can go watch that video to find the other answer. I'm really excited to launch the product you selected for me. Can I text you my differentiation ideas? Of course you can, Jeff. Yes, you can, my friend. Also, if my course wasn't so legit, then why do my students every single day, every single live, come into my TikTok lives? If they felt like they got scammed, do you think they would be in here still trying to learn? Booch, thank you so much for the follow. Luke, did you just upload a video on LOL? I just got a YT notification. Maybe it's a late notification. I did post a bunch of, oh, maybe it was the live. I did go live. maybe you got a notification for the live, or I posted a few shorts today as well. I posted like 3 shorts today. Luke, how long have you been working with the same broker from overseas? Are you talking about freight forwarder affiliated? I created the AMZ Masterclass freight forwarder 2023, end of 2023. So nearly 2 years now. Jeff, shout out to you, my guy. His course is legit. I'd recommend it if you're serious about selling on Amazon private label. Yes, sir. Also, you think if people spent all this money on my course and felt like that they got scammed, that they would be endorsing my program online? Just another food for thought. Oh, I got to do a puzzle to stay on live. Once I become successful, I will go to the USA to meet you. Let's go, Hento. Where are you from again, bro? Why does my mind say like Japan? Or is that somebody else? I knew there was somebody who was in Japan who would always come up in the live. Maldives, completely off. Nice. Maldives is definitely one of the spots that I will be going to in the near future. So the goal is to go to 296 out of 298 countries. I don't want to go to every country. There's 2 that I don't have interest in going to. Luke, can we see your watch? It looks fire. Sersky. Definitely should come for a vacation. Yes, I've heard good things about the Maldives. I've heard good things about most countries, to be honest. Like I said, that's why I want to go to 296 out of 298, or is it 297? Did I get that number wrong? But yeah, definitely a lot of countries I want to go to. I've actually been filling out the BIN app, which is like an app that shows where you can fill out, and it like covers the map of all the places you've been, and it's kind of cool. I've been to quite a few places, which very blessed to have the time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom to do that. I also like to go on trips for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. How many states in the USA? Surprisingly, the few states I've probably been, I'd have to count it because I didn't add the states to the BIN app, but I know I've been to like at least 30 states. But funny enough, some of the states that I haven't been to are like the big ones. Like I haven't gone to Texas. I haven't gone to Florida. I haven't gone to like Washington, like Seattle. But yeah, I've been to like 30 plus states. My pops used to live in South Bend, Indiana for quite a few years. So I would travel a lot to go see him and, make a lot of stops along the way. But on that note, everybody, if you guys like the lives, like the videos, make sure you check out the AMZ Masterclass mentorship program. I have, in my opinion, the best private label mentorship out there, but I also have a lot of free resources for those, because I know it's obviously an expensive program. Maybe it's not in the cards for some of y'all. I have free courses on TikTok. I have YT videos on how to start. A lot of free resources. And whatever it is that y'all do, right? Give it your all. It makes no difference to me in my life if you start Amazon. But whatever it is, drop shipping, Amazon, real estate, all of these other things, you should start an affiliate program for your students to promote the course. I've thought about that, to be honest. And like, I kind of do have it without saying I have it. Like students have messaged me like, hey, if I recommend the program to my friend, like what do I get? And I'll give them a small little cut. But I also don't want it to become like this. I want my students to be focused on selling on Amazon, not selling my course. You know what I'm saying? But it is like an unsaid thing where I will show love if any student ever like refers somebody and they join. But yeah, I'm also not trying to make it like a that's kind of like pyramid scheme vibes. You know what I mean? But it is out there for any students who ever did make recommendations or whatever. But make sure y'all go check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship. It is free to apply. Obviously, the program is not free. You'll go through a quick little questionnaire, and if you qualify for the program, you'll be prompted to book a call with my team. Not everybody will qualify, but if you do, definitely hop on a call with the team, because they'll be able to create a in-depth guide for your unique situation, because everybody's situation is different. Not everybody necessarily needs the same thing. Maybe you just need help with PPC ads. We got you covered for that as well. But I also, like I said, do have a lot of free resources. But I think with the theme of today's live, whatever y'all do in life, be great. Strive to be great. Think of what can go right, not all the things that can go wrong. Flip the script of what all the people on the internet are sitting here, and not the creators, the commenters. The comments on the internet are toxic. Flip the script of how most people think, right? And just go out and be great. You Arab, I'm Egyptian. Yeah, Egyptians don't, even though we are Arabs, we don't like to be called Arabs. Live, laugh, love. Thank you so much for the follow. Never lose faith. Amen to that, my friend. But I hope you all have a blessed day. Like I said, go check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship. Go check out the free resources that I have if that's not necessarily in the books for you. And I'll see y'all soon.